Well, good evening, race fans. We come at you here live tonight for the Dev Sports Cards Tammy Butchino Cup Series here tonight. The SCSRA Tammy Butchino Memorial Cup Series. And it is race 13 of 15 in the season. And should be a good one. Looks like we got 13 cars logged in to the field here so far. And we're here tonight at Auto Club Speedway here with Intensity Broadcasting. The championship is coming to a close here. We're getting right to the very end of it. The chase has provided us with some very exciting moments so far. And the title up for grabs. So far in practice here, Matt Band's top of the board. Colin Hoffman second, Parasini in third, Bishop fourth, and Wheeler fifth. As it sits right now, Matt Parasini leads the title over his teammate Garrett Walden. The points as it sits right now, Parasini has 1,130 points over Garrett Walden's 1,104. Parasini is going to miss a race here next week at Bristol, so that will put a bit of a damper on his title hunt. But he's hoping to build up enough of a nest egg so that missing Bristol does not hurt too badly. And there he is in the 24 Rowdy Chevrolet. Him and his teammate both in the field here tonight, fighting for all the points they can get. The Rowdy Calbush Tribute Skittles paint scheme there. Always wonderful paint schemes roll out of that garage with that team. Matt Parasini has one heck of a creator for those paint schemes behind him. As we have 6 minutes left in practice here, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, as I always do. First and foremost, I would like to start with the primary sponsor of the series. Tonight's broadcast is presented by Dev Sports Cards, the primary partner of the SCSRA and a consistent supporter of the league. Their eBay store has a fresh batch of auctions closing soon, from star rookies to vintage chase cards, plus 25-cent combined shipping on qualifying orders. If you want to support the people who support sim racing, check out Dev Sports Cards on eBay before those listings expire. Also, another proud partner of Intensity Broadcasting, Butt Kicker, bringing a whole new dimension to immersive entertainment. Butt Kicker has pioneered tactile feedback technology that lets you feel the action. Whether you're behind the wheel in a sim rig, watching a blockbuster in your home theater, or in the studio dialing in the low end, with 2 decades of industry leadership, their haptic transducers convert audio signals into physical vibration, turning sounds into sensations. If you ever wished you could feel that racing shift, explosion, or bass drop, Butt Kicker makes it real. And of course, the hidden opponent. In racing, everyone prepares for the competitors they can see, but one of the toughest opponents a driver can face never shows up on the timing screen. The hidden opponent is tackling the mental health battle inside the helmet. educating athletes, supporting teams, and giving the racing community language, tools, and leadership to talk about what usually stays silent. Because when drivers confront the hidden opponent, it doesn't just make them faster, it makes the whole garage stronger. So for those of you tuned in here tonight, thank you for your support and your continued contributions to the series, to our channels, and give them a peep sometime, if anything. Just spread the word otherwise. Just down there at the bottom of, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, there's some links down below which can help guide you to the right spot and find out more about our partners that keep the wheels rolling here at Intensity Broadcasting. So with 4 minutes left in practice, Matt Bands is definitely the quickest car here in the practice session. Sometimes that doesn't always convert over to a qualifying lap, but it is a good indicator of who could be fast here tonight. Bands has been pretty quick during the chase here. He has been up front fighting for race wins. Couple strategy calls kind of knocked him out of contention for a few of the wins here the last couple weeks, but could be in the mix yet again here tonight. So Bands would love to kind of put a nice neat little ribbon on the season here with a race win, which has eluded him all throughout season 12 here of the SCSRA Cup Series. Looks like Parasini just kind of testing the limitations of the 24 car here under practice conditions. Bands is third in the points, 30 points back from Matt Parasini. And like I said, Matt is going to miss, well, Matt Parasini that is, because we got Matt and Matt Bands in the number 72 and Matt Parasini in the 24. With Parasini missing Bristol next week, that kind of opens up a Pandora's box for who could nab the points lead from him at Bristol. 30-point lead over your top three, definitely a good cushion, but he's going to want to build that cushion up even more here tonight, because there's a chance that he could still get enough points here today, and with some bad luck at Bristol, he could still walk into Vegas with your points lead if he's able to build up enough bonus points here tonight and have that cushion in his favor. If anything, Vegas is almost going to be a guaranteed championship battle no matter what. Since Parasini will miss a race, what points buffer he does have will either keep him up there or put him behind the 8 ball, as he'll have to fight for all his worth at Vegas to crown himself the champion. The Rookie of the Year honors, we know for a fact that Holden Wheeler has a big advantage at the moment. Points I have not been able to actually look at, so all we know is from last week, obviously minus a race, this was your Rookie of the Year standings. And he had a 101-point lead over Christopher Bishop. I think after today, if he gets any more points than that, he could nearly lock it up for himself before they even drop the green flag at Bristol. So it's tough to say. As I mentioned in the chase standings, 1,130 points for Matt Parasini. He was able to secure some big bonus points. You can see here he had 1,070 with stage points and everything else. He was actually able to gain 60 points with the win last week. And here tonight, we will see if he can build up another big buffer of 60 points or so after tonight's race is finished. We're rolling into qualifying here. The practice session comes to a close. They are waving the checkered flag and white flag on track here to signify the end of session. And we will go ahead and hop around hot potato style here in qualifying to see what all cars are taken to the track here. Looks like the moment Josh Hall is going to be the first one taken to the track here. 13 cars make it here tonight's race, so all of your title contenders should pretty much be in the mix. I don't see... It doesn't look like we've got a couple drivers that are in our chase. Sharn Hill's missed majority of the chase races here. He's going to be mired back in 12th in the points. David Hartney's been missing, but Lauren Vincent is here. Lauren Vincent 10th in the points. Christopher Bishop up on the track now. And there we got Colin Hoffman as well. But one you'll want to keep your eyes out on for fast lap tonight. Definitely going to be Holden Wheeler. He's always a threat for quick time in qualifying. Racing for Sentinel Motorsports team owner Sharn Hill. They're trying to put together as many good runs here in the chase. Now 09 has had a couple bad runs, a few tough breaks the last couple weeks. But he's hoping to make up for it here tonight with another good run at Auto Club. Looks like we'll keep our camera rolling on the 09 as he gets his first timed lap in the books here. Holden Wheeler will jump up into the lead, proverbial lead for now, of pole position with a 40.34. Christopher Bishop jumps up to second quickest, but here we're going to have another threat for fast time. The 24 here of Matt Pericini. As he comes across, cutting as much of the track shorter as he can, gets all the way down near the grass. Almost a lawnmower. Getting any closer, you'd be cutting some grass on the infield there. Just a quick blip of the radar. Got Garrett Walden now. Apparently Matt Pericini's first lap time was negated as he did not get credited with a lap time, so could have been track boundaries crossed or something that nullified lap 1 in the books for him. His second lap, good for 5th quickest, a 40.51, and we've got our camera rolling here on his teammate Garrett Walden, who sits second in the points. Has a race win here in the chase. That 43 has been tough to beat, but so has his teammate. So one win apiece for the first 2 races in the chase have gone to teammates Matt and Garrett. First lap time there for Garrett, good for 6th quickest, right behind his teammate. Vince Brent tops the charts right now with a 40.29. Matt Bain's 8th quickest. It looks like we've got 3 cars not yet taking to the track, and they may opt for qualifying at the back of the field here tonight. 10th place, AJ Evangelista. 11th place, Tristan Cotton. And 13th place, Josh Hall. 11th and 12th, I got mixed up there. Garrett Walden jumps up to 4th quickest with his second lap, and so gets a little bit higher up the running order there. Matt Pericini falls back to 7th as Gomes and Bishop both turned a little bit quicker laps there on their second go-around. Well, it looks like qualifying is in the books here as we get set and started for the main event this evening. Auto Club Speedway may not exist in its form today in the real world, but we keep it alive here in digital format. iRacing has done a good job at preserving history, tracks that have fallen by the wayside, the what-if scenarios, and we just keep bringing action to these tracks, as you know, as one would hope for a track that is now, for the most part, extinct. But here we go with tonight's 110 laps of racing action, the 220-mile event here tonight with the SCSRA Tammy Butchino Memorial Cup Series. Pole position belongs to Vince Brent, and the rookie sensation starting second on the front row there, Holden Wheeler. He's got his teammate Matt Baines right behind him, and Garrett Walden starting in fourth. Another rookie, hot rookie, Christopher Bishop, who's second in Rookie of the Year honors, qualified fifth here tonight. Ryan Gomes for Neon Racing, bringing it in sixth for qualifying. Points leader Matt Parasini going to have to fight from his back here all the way mid-pack, but he's proven that he can move through the field pretty easily. We'll see how he does here tonight with Anthony Strickland, Colin Hoffman, Lauren Vincent. That's your top 10. 3 cars did not turn a time, and they opted to start at the rear. Josh Hall, AJ Evangelista, and Tristan Cotton. So 110 laps the distance. It could go by in a blur, or it could run on a little longer here. We never know. Chaos and carnage, or is it going to be calm, cool, and calculated? As it sits, the stage break here tonight will fall at lap 40. Stage points up for grabs for these Cup drivers looking to try and build on their chase. And should be a good one here tonight, folks. Grab some popcorn, maybe a soda pop. Get dialed in for the full run here tonight. After this one, there's only 2 races left in Season 12 of the SCSRA Cup Series. And someone will be crowned a champion at the end of June here. Pace car making its last approach here, getting ready to pull off the racetrack and hand it over to the racers behind him. 13 cars, 110 laps. What could possibly happen here?
Green flag.
We're rolling here at Auto Club Speedway. As the drivers just getting up to speed here, getting a feel for what their cars have underneath them. Getting out to the early lead, it's going to be Holden Wheeler, followed by Garrett Walden, as Vince Brent, a little bit slower to get up to speed here, falls in line third from pole position. Going to be credited with leading the first lap here tonight after qualifying. Second, Holden Wheeler, top spot, leader of the race. Plenty of racing to be had. With 13 cars, it's kind of a more intimate field size here. One could only hope that it means for less wrecks, less chaos, less carnage, and more hardcore, close combat between these racers here tonight. The team standings looking pretty stout for Cypress Academy. as they do have 1 and 2 in the actual championship driver standings. They have overcome and pretty much put together a championship caliber season for a team as well. 1,543 points belong to Cypress Academy in the total team standings. Second to that, you got Sentinel Motorsports with 1,235. Nothing is official until the checkered flag drops at Vegas, of course, but it's looking pretty good for the team that's won the championship last year and trying to back it up with another good run this year. Holden Wheeler, though, with Sentinel Motorsports, they're just trying to approach it with the David versus Goliath kind of approach here. Definitely Sentinel Motorsports more on the David side, trying to fight the Goliath that is Cypress Academy. Battle for second there between Bishop and Walden. Walden gets the best of it there, settles back into second. But Christopher Bishop has come to play here, it looks like. That 15, one of your Rookie of the Year contenders. He's got a little bit up the track there, almost into the 72 bands, and loses some ground as soon as I mention. Commentators curse maybe bringing him down a little bit. Hopefully we don't curse any more drivers here with the commentary jinx tonight. But here we go. Matt Band's proven that he belongs in this chase for the championship. It seems like he's always up front fighting for the race wins the last couple weeks, and tonight no different. Richmond and Chicagoland could have gone a little differently for him. He led laps in both races and had a shot to win it on a couple occasions, but sometimes strategy, cautions, all of it kind of mixes it all up and keeps people from actually finishing the job, and his results do not show for what he's been capable of doing the last couple weeks. Good run. Oh, the 43 gets loose, slides up the track. The 15 runs into him. Oh, 4 wide, 4, maybe even 5 wide for a brief instance in time. They're still almost 4 wide, 3 wide, 2 wide, settling down here. But getting the worst of that, Garrett Walden, after losing control there, slid up the track, got run into from behind by the 15 of Bishop. Big gainer, though, Matt Parasini, who's already back up into the podium position here tonight. Vince Brent was minding his manners, dotting his I's, crossing his T's, minding his P's and Q's, and works his way up to second here after losing all those spots right out of the gate. Well, that definitely got the heart rate up for the drivers on the field when they saw that. Could have been a wreck waiting to happen, but expertise of these drivers saved it from having to force a caution or a wreck that could have gone really bad here early in this one. That rowdy car already moving his way up to second here. Matt Parasini is a threat for this title. And of course, they've got their teammate there too with Vince Brent. Cypress Academy's got a 3-car fight in the field here tonight. 4 cars, including Lauren Vincent. Lauren Vincent joined Cypress Academy this year, first season under their belt, I believe. And doing a good job at, just letting the race come to him, trying to stay out of trouble and bringing together a full-length race rather than pushing the envelope and throwing it all away early. He might be 13th in the field here tonight, but don't discredit what he's capable of. He could still work his way back up to the front. I believe he's been dealing with some internet issues and electricity, so it's actually a miracle that he was able to make the field here tonight. That is perseverance. some of the scoring and stuff he was not able to get to because minus, of course, minus internet, minus power, it was a little hard to do it. But and who knows, maybe he's running off of a phone hotlink or something to make the race here tonight. So getting those points, getting the race in the books, that's all he can do. Pretty impressive. Which is probably why his trading paint scheme is missing. I don't know. I don't know the setup for him right now. I know that he said that he was, missing internet, missing power with whatever happened if there was a storm nearby that took things down. I know my folks had a couple trees go down around their neighborhood. Totally different neck of the woods, of course, but still, I guess it is somewhat storm season at the moment. Wow, Christopher Bishop gets back up to second here, and Vince Brent blows back by him. So Bishop has something figured out here at Auto Club Speedway. That 15 looking good, fighting for a podium fight here tonight. Plenty of laps to get to the finish, but good start for the 15 team. It is a Chevy brigade up at the front here. Christopher Bishop breaks that up with the first Ford in the top 5. Gomes, you got another Ford running in 7th. And amazingly enough, only one Toyota signed up for the race here today. 3 Fords, 1 Toyota, and 9 Chevys. And we also got, I want to say, 3 Busch tribute cars. Well, I guess. Oh, and I just zoomed in at the wrong time there on Anthony Strickland, who loses it all on his own. That brings out our first caution here tonight at lap 14. I was trying to skim through the field. I think there's only 2 Kyle Busch tribute cars in the field here tonight. And as soon as I got to the back end of the field, that's where our first caution come out. 21 here of Anthony Strickland. So let's maybe get another perspective on this. You just four tire drift through the turn, losing it, corrects it, overcorrects it up the field, and Cotton with nowhere to go clubs the 21 there. Both cars are going to have to use a quick repair to get back into this one, but tough break there for the 21 of Anthony Strickland, losing it all on his own. And that's just got to be this next-gen car. These next-gen cars, if the tire pressures aren't right, if there's something on the track even sometimes, these cars, if you lose them, you're going to go for a ride. It's amazing, how safe the tracks have gotten over the years. Like this race at Michigan on the past Sunday where Chase Elliott and Christopher Bell kind of lost it there, and Christopher Bell's car looked like a hard hit in the outside wall. So bad that they actually had to red flag the race to repair the safer barrier, but both drivers were A-okay. Apart from the fact that Christopher Bell had some minor injuries, wrist injury, it seems like is the only ailment he's going to be dealing with for a while. But he will be back at Pocono. And Pocono, also a very unforgiving track, kind of falling in line with that. Auto Club Speedway here tonight, often a very unforgiving track as well. The 2-mile distance, the speeds that these cars get up to, it's often a dangerous track, and it's a dangerous sport. And these drivers put their wits, put their safety on the line. And time again, they still, even after, that safety is, bothered or, affected, they come back fighting even harder. And it's crazy to think that, if you get hurt, something like that happens, you still come back and give it your all. That is the true spirit of a racer. Well, Bishop decides to pit later, stays out while everyone pits the first time around. He comes down pit road. Second chance he gets here. Vince Brent will get the lead on the transition here. Lights are off on the pace car. They get doubled up for the restart. And so, of course, stage break here at lap 40. These drivers will be racing to that 40 lap mark and try to secure some bonus points that come with winning the stage. Holden Wheeler's been leading the race so far, but now it's going to hand itself over to one of the Cypress Academy standouts there in the 92 of Vince Brent and the 24 of Matt Pericini. Alrighty, we get back to it here on lap 17. Cypress Academy will reset the field here, as we've still got 23 laps left in the stage. Good start here for Vince Brent on the low side as he builds a gap over his teammate, the 09 of Holden Wheeler, giving him a good push. Wheeler looks like he could settle into second, but the 24 is going to take the momentum on the high line and try to carry it around. 92 gets way up high, kind of slides out of the race groove there, and here comes Holden Wheeler on the attack. Matt Pericini follows down a line, get behind the 09 of Holden Wheeler. Is he going to be able to get alongside his teammate, the 92 there, Vince Brent? Good run from the Rowdy car, but settles into third right behind Vince Brent. Brent's going to try to use the draft to his advantage here, trying to close the gap back up on Holden Wheeler. And he's running a progressively different line as he continues to run almost up towards the Kyle Larson line here tonight. And for each driver, it's kind of their own comfort zone. Whatever they feel comfortable with, they're going to run it. And for that 92 of Vince Brent, it seems like he is most comfortable getting to the high side and trying to close the gap rather than go to the low side and risk it. And just like that, on the long run of a straight, the 92 seems to be a little bit quicker because his brake points are a little bit different. The 09 carries more of that speed through the turn and has a lower speed on the exit of the turn, while the 92 is able to carry that speed a little bit quicker through the entirety of the turn. He clipped the wall there because he's giving it all he's got, and the 09 just trying to defend at this point, but I think the 92 is going to have a charge here. Watch him go. He's going to make the move down low, using the high line to his advantage. Go ahead, give Vince Brent the race lead over using a strategic line. Get by the 09 of Holden Wheeler. It's just a simple example of logistics here. When you've got, an object in motion stays in motion. If you got to go to the low side, you got to slow that car down a lot further to make the corner stick. Whereas the 92 can run a little bit on the higher side and not get into the brakes as heavy. And his apex changes where he can set the car back in full gas mode before the exit of the turn, like the 09 was setting it up later at the end of the turn. And the 92 makes the most of it here. Meanwhile, the 09 is going to be defending against Matt Pericini. They're running 1-2 where they qualified here tonight, 1 and 2. Oh, 9-wheeler gets a little bit loose there, and that's going to open the door for the 24 of Matt Pericini. And now Cypress Academy running 1-2 as Sentinel Motorsports runs 3-4. They also got Cypress Academy in 5th, so it's a lockout of Cypress Academy and Sentinel Motorsports for your top 5 here on lap 22. I definitely miss Auto Club Speedway. This track I've always enjoyed because it is kind of its own unique concept. I used to see IndyCar race here as well, and that was on the edge of out of control. I mean, IndyCars flying around this track almost seemed, it's just like putting them on a Daytona track almost. It's a little bit different because it's not as banked, not as crazy, and they can still get away unscathed here at Auto Club, but definitely far more dangerous than IndyCar probably should have been running up into the late 2015, 2018s that they kept coming here. But, I mean, kind of on the same premise of a Michigan, it's a 2-mile track. Not a super speedway package, but kind of its own thing. Michigan, right, like we learned this last week, very fast track. The faster the cars go, the more danger that's involved. So you just got to make do with what you got and try to stay out of trouble. Look at that. Matt Bands moves himself up to second, fighting for the race lead here towards the second half of the stage. Good run by the 72. He washes out there, goes high, and the 92 drops it down low. And now he's starting to build a bit of a gap here on Matt Bands, Matt Pericini, and Holden Wheeler. Some other battles throughout the field. Looks like Colin Hoffman making a move on Garrett Walden to get up into the top 5. Garrett Walden makes the battle back. 77 got loose there. And these two are duking it out for position. Matt Pericini trying to defend on Holden Wheeler right behind him. There is just about 3 competitive race lines here at Fontana, and you're seeing it almost on any given lap where a driver will try to stick the car somewhere opposite of the driver ahead and behind them. Wheeler following the line of the 24 now, trying to close the gap on the 72 of Bands. Good move there by the 09 is going to get him around the 24. Matt Pericini got a little bit loose there. Well, we're down to 11 laps left to go in the stage. Vince Brent, your race leader, over Matt Bands and Holden Wheeler. Matt Parasini has fell back to 4th at the moment, but he could bounce back in the second half of tonight's race. Garrett Walden, his teammate, right behind him. Then you have Colin Hoffman, AJ Evangelista, Christopher Bishop, who opted to pit later on the pit stop cycle during caution here tonight. He's trying to work his way back through the field. Tristan Cotton involved in a wreck with Anthony Strickland, first caution of the evening. Then, of course, you have Lauren Vincent in 11th, Josh Hall in 12th, and Ryan Gomes, it seems like, has fallen way back here. Not sure the situation with the 55, but he's going to be hoping for that stage caution, get him stacked back up with your race leaders. Bands at one point was trying to reel in the 92 of Vince Brent, but things have kind of plateaued a little bit here. And as soon as I say that, though, the 72 has a momentous charge here. Catches right on up to the back bumper of the 92. Makes a fool of myself as he has a good run there, trying to catch back with your leader. Vince Brent has the top spot. Matt Bands wants it. All of a sudden, Matt Parasini works his way up to 3rd as Holden Wheeler, struggling a little bit, falls back to 5th. Kind of wonder if Holden Wheeler had a moment, an off. Let's see if there's a... Now for Matt Parasini, just an aggressive move on the high side. Gets him around the 09 of Holden Wheeler. Does not look like there were any mistakes made by the 09 of Holden Wheeler by any means. Some of the other cars just coming alive at the end of the run here. Matt Band still trying to reel in your race leader, Vince Brent, Cypress Academy. It's a Cypress Academy 1, 3, 4, and 11th with Lauren Vincent. '72 run that high line, clips the wall just a little bit there. And that's going to cost him a little bit of time as the 92 is going to be able to start reeling away from him. 09 of Holden Wheeler loses it in the back there. And amazingly, no caution has been thrown. But here's the replay. All on his own. It looks like he loses it. Clips into AJ Evangelista in the worst spot on the track you could hit. He finds it. Hits the out-jutting inside wall there. And there is not a wheel right on the 09 car there, as he's just trying to move. And actually, he's going to have to call the tow truck because that car is broke beyond repair at the moment. Tough break for Holden Wheeler. No caution, even more crazy. Well, 5 laps left to go here in the stage. Stage points up for grab. Cypress Academy has a stranglehold on the top 5. Holden Wheeler, after leading some laps here today, he's going to be trapped a couple laps down after the wreck. And his night just got that much harder to secure precious points in the title hunt, Rookie of the Year title, and the actual chase title. This might be a first. I don't know if we've seen Vince Brent win a stage yet here in Season 12 of the SCSRA. Tammy Butchino Memorial Cup Series. But he's got a shot here with 4 laps left to go to seal the deal and get those bonus points that could help him get this championship in his ball court. As it sits right now, Vince Brent has worked his way up to 4th in the points, has 1,096 points total. This chase has been good to him. Yeah, there you go. 0 stage wins for Vince Brent this year. This would be his first stage win of 2026 season 12 of the SCSRA Cup Series. All he's got to do is hold on. His teammate, Matt Parasini, has had 2 stage wins. And rival team, Matt Bands with Sentinel Motorsports, has also gotten 2 stage wins. Sentinel Motorsports' Holden Wheeler has had 3 stage wins this year. And Joe Irwin, kind of a privateer entry, has had 3 stage wins under the books. Travis Bennett, Cameron Craighead, a couple more drivers with stage wins on the year. But for Vince Brent, he has been probably on the outside looking in for this whole title hunt. He's only been able to secure 7 bonus points, and that looks at your incident count, laps led, all the other fun stuff that could rack up bonus points. For the most part, the chase erases any advantages that bonus points may have secured you during the regular season. So the bonus points reset just like all the other points, and you're back to kind of square zero with bonus points in the last couple races. Even though Matt Parasini's had 77 bonus points throughout the entire season, he's only got a 26-point lead over Garrett Walden, a 30-point lead over Matt Bands, and a 34-point lead over Vince Brent. So all those bonus points mean nothing in the grand scheme of things once the chase hits the reset button. Here we go. One more lap. The white flag for the stage here. And they'll see the green-white checkered next time as Vince Brent looks to secure stage win number 1 here tonight at Auto Club Speedway. Holden Wheeler and Ryan Gomes both a lap down now. Looks like Gomes will get the lucky dog as he is the first car 1 lap down in 12th. But it's a wrap for the stage. Your stage winner coming around turn 4 for the last time before the stage. Checkered flag waving, and it's Vince Brent taking the bonus points here tonight.
The yellow flag is out.
From Kingsport, Tennessee. Still seeking his first win of the 2012 campaign. He's had 0 poles. He's had 4 top 5s and 5 top 10s. So definitely the underdog when it comes to the title hunt here. You look at Matt Bands, who's had 0 wins, 2 poles, 6 top 5s, and 9 top 10s. Compare that up to the Cypress Academy teammates of Garrett Walden with 3 wins, 8 top 5s, 10 top 10s, and Matt Parasini with 4 wins, 9 top 5s, 10 top 10s. Vince Brent is only about halfway there in both categories to the top 2 in the points, his 2 teammates of Garrett Walden and Matt Parasini. They're going to get a chance here to pull it down pit road, get fresh tires, get full tank of gas, and the second half of this race still to come. It's going to be 68 laps left to go. A fuel window here at Fontana, more on the lines of about 40 to 50 laps. So they'll have to pit one more time throughout the day here to get themselves to the finish. Alrighty, as we are doubled up for the restart here. One car trapped a lap down, that is Holden Wheeler, after the incident that he had during the first stage of today's race. Everyone else, though, on the lead lap. 12 cars on the lead lap. Leading the front row, it's going to be Matt Bands and Vince Brent, followed by teammates Matt Parasini and Garrett Walden, with AJ Evangelista your top 5. Pace car pulls off, and it's back in the hands of the racers here. We're back and rolling here at Fontana. Matt Bands gets the lead here. Following in line on the inside, Matt Parasini with a good run on the low side. 2, 3, 4 for Cypress Academy, as Matt Bands leads the way over the trio behind him. And a bit of a stab at the lead there. The 24 peaks on the inside, but the 72 is able to maintain the race lead away from him. But the battle is on. Drivers, they will be trying to set it up for a one-stop race here in the second half. Really no reason to save or conserve your stuff. It should be pretty much full throttle all the way to the finish here, unless we get a late race caution that changes that whole perspective up. But for now, as it's going to be about 63 laps to go this time, the window for pit stops will open with about 20 laps to go here tonight, whether we stay green or if there's some cautions mixed in there to kind of separate the pace of the race a little bit. Another stab at it for the race lead. Matt Parasini peaks on the low side. 3 lines intersect with 1 on the backstretch here, as Matt Bands is defending for his life at the moment over Matt Parasini and Vince Brent. Getting a little bit darker on the front stretch here, as it is a kind of a night, or it's a later day race, a day to night transition for these cars. May throw them a bit of a curveball, but for the most part, don't think there's going to be a whole lot of that to worry about. Seems like the setups for these cars are all flying around the racetrack. Bands trying to defend. He's trying to break the draft behind him, slicing and dicing up and down the racetrack. But Parasini's right there waiting to pounce. Good run on the low side, that 24. Rowdy Chevrolet has a nose up on Matt Bands here, but Bands will carry the momentum on the high side to get back around the 24 briefly, with a small edge in the favor of the 72. 24 carries it in again. 72 is going to carry it off on the backside each time. These two kind of giving and taking, fighting back and forth. And Bands back in solid possession for now. 60 laps left to go. For Holden Wheeler, only being trapped 1 lap down is not a bad deal, as he can get the wave around here with another caution and be back in the mix here tonight. He had to use his quick repair up after the damage sustained in that first wreck, the first caution of, well, actually it was a non-caution. He stayed off the racetrack and called a tow truck. Never threw a caution. It stayed green the whole time.
Caution, yellow flag.
Well, we got our third caution here at lap 51. Matt Baines, your leader over Vince Brent, Matt Persini, Christopher Bishop, and Garrett Walden. Let's see what brings out our second caution for cause on this third caution here tonight. Very similar to his first mistake here tonight that brought out that first caution. Anthony Strickland loses it again. A solo car spinner picks it back up and keeps rolling, but caution was out at this point. That will give Holden Wheeler the wave around here, and he'll be back on the lead lap. Alrighty, well, some pit stops were underway here during this caution. Vince Brent will relinquish the race lead. My bad. Matt Baines was leading this race. I might have I'm asleep at the wheel here on a couple nights here, so I apologize. It should have been. I had that all wrong. Apologies. So, Vince Brent, though, gives up his running spot here and falls back to 8th. Looks like quite a few drivers opted to pit here, while Baines decidedly stayed out. Ryan Gomes stays out. Christopher Bishop, I think, also stays out. So, Persini of the first to come down pit road rejoin the track in 4th. AJ Evangelista, Josh Hall, Lauren Vincent, and Vince Brent, with Garrett Walden and Colin Hoffman your top 10. Holden Wheeler back on the lead lap in 11th. Tristan Cotton running in 12th. And the window's still not in a good spot. The drivers that pitted here, they're not good to go to the finish by any means, but at least they get off strategy here, get kind of on their own unique strategy, and put themselves in a window to where maybe just 10 laps to go, they can come down for a quick gas and go, given that the race stays green here tonight, of course.
Green flag, green flag.
Back and rolling here. 72, Matt Baines gets a good jump on the high side. Following in line behind him, the 15 of Christopher Bishop up to second. You got Ryan Gomes on the low side, though. He's going to try to make a move on the 15 and secure second, but the high side's going to carry the momentum. Looks like it may even be 3 wide for that position in a minute here, as Cypress Academy's Matt Parasini looking to thread the needle. Not quite 3 wide for second, but almost. As Neon Racing now has Gomes running in 4th and Josh Hall running in 5th. Another omission from tonight's field, Devin Butchino with Neon Racing. I'm sure something came up, had to miss again here this week. Was locked into the chase, had that win at Talladega, that very emotional win at Talladega, honoring his, this season honoring his mom. Won it for his mom at Talladega. Very neat. Whoa, and that gets out of control pretty quickly, but saves it on the 09's going to lose it.
Is out.
That, we had the cameras rolling the whole time. AJ Evangelista run right into Ryan Gomes, and Holden Wheeler loses it after the fact there. Yeah, 55 has a broken toe link on the front right. Let's see that again here. We'll show the replay. I think just carried in a little too much momentum, a little too hot here. The 05 just kind of clips the 55. The 9 with nowhere to go, nowhere to save it. And at that point, Gomes is just along for the ride. Holden Wheeler did all he could to try and avoid the chaos, but loses control of the car after contact with the 55. And once he got sideways, that's when the caution dropped right there. So we get to stack them and re-rack them. Baines leads over Christopher Bishop and Matt Parasini. Still not quite in the window. I mean, this is tight. I mean, the 55 to 60 lap fuel window is very tight. Not much room for overtime, but Matt Baines is deciding to pit here. So these drivers, and at the same time, those that pitted last lap, stay out, save some fuel under caution here. They could stretch it just a little bit longer. But it is an interesting scenario here with who's going to be, even going to be close enough to run this thing to the finish with the fuel they've got in the tanks here. Alrighty, we're doubled up again here. Looks like one car still off the track, Anthony Strickland, after his 2 spins here tonight. If you're the cause for caution twice, I think you have to park it or serve a penalty. So Anthony Strickland may be done for the evening after causing 2 cautions here tonight. It might be a situation if you claim the caution, you can get away with it, but I don't think I don't know if you can get away with 3 of them. So Strickland on pit road. Multiple laps down now. Off the race. Out of the race. Gomes comes down pit road last minute here. And at risk of going a lap down, it seems like he might be a lap down already. It's going to be Christopher Bishop and Matt Parasini resetting the field here, going back to green. Vince Brent has climbed his way back up to the top 4. Josh Hall right there in the mix as well.
Green, green, green.
Green flag waves, and we're rolling again here. Lap 60 of 110. We have 50 laps left to go. That fuel window, very sparse. It's going to be tight if anyone can even make it to the finish here. More cautions definitely help the fuel mileage conversation. So we'll see. But at the moment, no one's sitting pretty. No one's sitting comfortable. So far, the biggest gainer here tonight, you got AJ Evangelista up 8 spots here. And that situation with him and Gomes may have been a bit aggressive. There, hopefully not any hard feelings. It looked like some hard racing that just went wrong there. But AJ Evangelista having a solid run here tonight in the top 5. Up 7 spots from where he qualified now, running in 5th. You got Matt Parasini up 5 spots from his qualifying position up to 2nd here. And how about that? Christopher Bishop, the rookie, leading this race here tonight at Fontana. He's going to have to defend the advance here by the 24 Parasini. Gives him a little bit of a bump on the inside. They might force it 3 wide, a pair of teammates on the low side. Vince Brent carrying that momentum all the way to the bottom. Christopher Bishop running that Kyle Larson line. He's going to carry it back around the outside, but he's going to have the door closed on him, the 24 right there. Now he's boxed in with nowhere to go. He's going to try to peek down low. He gets right up on the back bumper of the 92, but not enough to make a pass back to get the lead. Vince Brent, your new leader here at lap 62. And now trying to break that draft. You see the snake effect where the drivers kind of slice and dice, try to follow the draft ahead of them. Fontana Auto Club Speedway, always a very heavy draft-based track. And so you don't want to lose that draft, and you definitely want to capitalize on it at the same time. Christopher Bishop gets into the wall. That's going to open the door for the 2 teammates. Cypress Academy now running 1, 2, and 4 at the moment. About to be 1, 2, 3. As Garrett Walden gets by, take over 3rd position. The 15 is going to fight back on the outside. They're just short Lauren Vincent in the top 5 for a full car field of Cypress Academy at the front. Bishop blips out there. Regains traction, and he's defending for 3rd. Looks like Gomes is stuck on pit road, going multiple laps down here, so out of the race after that damage. I don't know if he had another quick repair in his pocket. We saw the right front wheel was busted on it. Broken A-arm, suspension, whichever breaks first on the next gen car nowadays. Out of the race in 12th place, leaving us with 11 cars left running. And going for the race lead, Matt Parasini looking low on his teammate Vince Brent. Side by side, they come roaring into turn 3. On the exit of turn 4, will Vince Brent be able to build up his advantage again? Or is the 24 going to close the door? For now, Matt Parasini closes the door on Vince Brent, and it is a 1-2-3 for Cypress Academy. Well, in the meanwhile, let's bounce back here and see some of the other battles going on. Holden Wheeler trying to bounce back after kind of a tough go of it here tonight. Losing the car up front, having led some laps, back up to 7th, and now he's defending on Lauren Vincent, who's trying to make a move for position. 3 wide with Christopher Bishop now falling by the wayside here. Holden Wheeler slides up the track, and the 15 clips him,
Yellow flag is out.
spinning him out. Man, we've been following the right camera angles all night. It's like kind of a spooky intuition. I start scrolling the field, and we capture the action right as it's happening live. Holden Wheeler, another tough break. He seems to be a bit of a ping pong ball out there at times that keeps getting run into by the other drivers. I don't know what's up with that, but he did kind of slide there in front of the 15 of Christopher Bishop, and maybe Bishop did not appreciate that slide job very well, because you can see what happens here. We've got to go back all the way to turn 3 to really capture this whole moment again. As you can see, 3 wide. And he gets loose here, I feel like, and kind of slides up the track. You know, and it's hard to say, man. I don't want to lay blame on anyone where it's not meant to be, but that looked pretty bad. The 15 kind of ran right through him. He got loose, though. I'm gonna relinquish any blame there. There was no one at fault. Holden Wheeler just got a little bit loose in front of an already fast car, and because of that, yeah, that angle does it some justice. He kind of got loose there, sliding up the track right in front of the 15, and then he tries to overcorrect the sliding car. It's already loose. You can see it spinning. He loses it and wrecks right in front of the 15 there. Gets put into the outside wall. Lauren Vincent drives through that without any hassle. But this is almost the perfect case scenario for your leaders, as pit stop should get them to the finish now. And yet, we've got one stay out. 72 of Matt Bands opts to stay out while everyone else behind him pits. Definitely a lonely feeling being the only guy that stays out here, knowing that this puts you pretty much to the finish on a full tank of gas, or, you know, what would give you enough gas to get to the finish right now. It's going to be tight. For Matt Banzo, he probably feels like he's been able to save some fuel under these caution laps. And just as they are right now, he's still able to save some fuel. But with 40 laps left to go, he's going to have to hope he's saved quite a bit at the pump here tonight. Holden Wheeler is able to get right back out, stay on the lead lap just barely, beats the pace car off there. So still 11 cars on the lead lap, 11 cars left running here tonight.
Green, green, green.
We're back and rolling here. 39 laps left to go. So Matt Bands has the lead here over Matt Parasini. It's the Matt and Matt show once again. So many times the last couple races in the chase, Matt and Matt have been up front leading laps. Only one has converted to a race win so far in the chase. That is Matt Parasini with the race win at Chicagoland last week. Richmond went to Garrett Walden, his teammate, but Matt Bands has led plenty of laps at both Richmond and Chicagoland. But here tonight, he would like to go up one step higher and try to secure a race win. Get that victory out of the way and even put himself in the conversation for perhaps being in the title hunt right down to Las Vegas in 2 weeks' time. Next week at Bristol, a lot of the drivers have been kind of critical of Bristol. Not sure whether to be excited, not sure whether to be scared. But, of course, Auto Club here tonight, a few drivers kind of felt like this one could be their ticket. Las Vegas at the end of the year, I think everyone's going to be happy about running that track. But here tonight, Matt Bands would be a big opportunity for him to get a win here. And how about Vince Brent? 0 wins on the season. Hungry to get that first race win of season 12. Right as the season, kind of dwindles to a close. It would really hurt to go out winless in a season where you've had speed, you've been in a position to fight for the wins, and just not able to convert at the end of one of these. 3 wide for second place. Vince Brent kind of clips into the 72 there. The problem for Matt Bands, though, is his old tires are going to be slowing him up here. And you can already see the cars that are quicker behind him making up the deficit with fresh tires. They are reeling in the race lead here. And Bands is sadly losing all the momentum he had, falling backwards, running out of steam. Those old tires can only carry you so far. For him, his best bet would be to get another caution, and he would be able to throw on some Superman tires and fly through the field once again. So it's not down, not out, but definitely on the backside of it right now. Matt Parasini up front, though, trying to get another win here in the chase and build that points bump in his favor, as he will miss Bristol next week. I'm sure he is heard the question too many times. We won't ask him again about Bristol since We already know the situation there. But he'll be happy here with whatever finish he can get as long as it builds him up and keeps him from falling backwards. 34 laps left to go. And starting to reel in your race leader, Vince Brent, hunting down his teammate there. Matt Bain still holding on to third, even with the older tires at the moment, that 3G72. And here comes Vince Brent, hard charge on the inside. From pole position here today, Vince Brent has not left the front of the field. That 92 has had something under his sleeve here tonight. It's about to be 30 laps to go here. Holden Wheeler pulling off pit road, going a lap down. It has just not been, it's not been his night here. Rejoins the track now up here behind Tristan Cotton. Lauren Vincent with an 8th at the moment. He's got his sights set on Christopher Bishop and Josh Hall ahead of him. AJ Evangelista, first driver in the top 5. He's up 7 spots from where he qualified. The only other driver that's gained a lot from his starting position here tonight is Matt Parasini, up 6 spots from his qualifying position. And for Vince Brent, -1 from the pole. He's fighting in second right now. Vince Brent still trying to reel in the race lead of Matt Parasini. But both drivers running pretty comparable laps here, almost identical to each other the last couple laps. No gain, no loss. Looks like the 24 might have clipped the wall. You saw a little bit of smoke out ahead as contact was made. Is that going to allow Vince Brent to capitalize here? A little bit of smoke rolled off 92 Vince Brent as well. He's within 0.3 of a second. With 29 laps left to go here at Auto Club Speedway. As this season winds to a close, it kind of, okay, here we go. Battle for the race lead. I'll get back to my my thought in a minute, but battle for the lead brewing between the two teammates. Vince Brent right there behind the 24, Matt Parasini. He's shown that he's got the speed. He's within 0.1 of a second now, right there behind race leader. Starting to wonder if maybe Parasini's contact with the wall giving him a little bit of trouble here. 1, 2, 3 again with Cypress Academy as the cream rises to the top. 10 cars on the lead lap, 10 cars on the racetrack. Holden Wheeler, I guess, is out there. So 11 on the track, but 10 of them on the lead lap. Holden Wheeler has fallen 2 laps down in 11th. But as the season winds to a close, season 12 will crown a new champion. You got to wonder about what the next season has in hold for the SCSRA Cup Series. Great cast of drivers, great series, a lot of great action week in, week out. Cypress Academy has been the muscle of this series. Be really cool to see what they got next year in season 13. Starting to wonder if any other teams will start to be out there contending for the title against Cypress Academy. It would, you know, seems to be they're like the Hendrick Motorsports here, and you know, Hendrick Motorsports has achieved that star power over years and years of continued success, continued, you know, wins and victories and championships. Something that's special about the Cypress Academy team is they work together. Doesn't matter, every week you interview them, they thank the team, they thank, you know, the fans, they thank the sponsors. Ultimately, they're just very good to each other. And that's what's special about a team. When you have a team that cooperate, that help train each other, you know, they look after each other. If you're part of the team, you're one of them. And Cypress Academy continues to build and build. And then, as we saw this year, they might have been down a driver here and there, but they picked up a new driver, and Lauren Vincent has shown leaps and bounds success that, you know, only growth can show. Lauren Vincent has grown exponentially in 1 year time, from last year to this year, joining the team, resources at his disposal. And, you know, it's more than just resources. It's camaraderie. It's friendships, and it's, you know, it's something special. So Lauren Vincent has joined the team, and he's out there fighting for finishes just like they are up front fighting for wins. And you got to wonder what that has in store for next season and on. And when you have a team that's that special, and this is not, you know, discrediting any of the other teams out there. You can see it in the likes of Sentinel Motorsports, Neon Racing, and everyone else. Every driver brings their own characteristics to the table. And when you've got a team that's as well-oiled as most of these teams out here on the field, you can see the experience start to grow just on the racetrack alone. It does not matter if there's a dominant driver in the field. I mean, just like here, yeah, AJ Evangelista fighting for a podium spot. He has not yet finished on the podium this season. But with the team help and teamwork, he's actually picking it up and putting himself in the conversation of a potential podium here tonight. Even up against the Davids, or the Goliaths, I should say. More like he's the David against the Goliaths here, as Vince Brent and Garrett Walden hold down. They're the gatekeepers for a podium finish here tonight. As we're down to 23 laps to go, Matt Parasini building a bit of an advantage here over the rest of the field. Matt Bands might be clear to make it to the finish with the tires and the gas that's allotted to him. It's definitely going to be tight. It's going to be interesting here with the last 22 laps to go where that 72 is going to shake out here. AJ Evangelista right there on the back bumper of Vince Brent, looking for a podium here tonight. That Arby's / Loves Chevrolet. Got to give him credit for putting on a good showing here. Right up on the back bumper of Vince Brent. Carries the momentum on the high side. 92's pitting. I don't know if that's a planned pit stop, but we knew that fuel numbers are going to be kind of hard to hit here. Vince Brent kind of surprises me. I figured that he would be good to go, so maybe a unexpected mechanical failure pulls him down pit road here with 21 laps to go. So that puts AJ Evangelista up into a podium spot here. Matt Bands picks up a spot as well, up to 4th, as everyone behind him moves up one spot with the pit stop from Vince Brent. Another taker down pit road. Matt Bands kind of figured he did not have enough to go to the finish, so he's going to make his pit stop here. And maybe my calculations were off a slight, and 50 laps is pushing it here at Auto Club. I'm thinking right now we're looking more at about a 30-lap run for your leaders. So everyone might have to pit here, and I was just kind of guesstimating. So we will see if Matt Parasini, Garrett Walden, and AJ Evangelista have to pit here. You think about it, 20 laps to go here is 40 miles, and if they're not getting, you know, so much miles per gallon, 40 miles is a long time to run on any fuel tank for the most part. That's an awesome statement there from Jesse Whittington, the owner of Cypress Academy, throwing it out there that, yeah, you guys do a wonderful job at, really building up a team, and even scouting. It seems like a pretty good job at scouting for talent too. So pretty exciting to watch you guys put on a show every week. And I think it for the most part, it makes the rest of the field up their game as well. When you've got a team that's that stout, that's the target. You know, you have to have that field. You have to have that team in the field for other teams to get to the grind, nose to the grindstone, and try to build on what they've got. And so, yeah, it may be, it might be a detriment to the entertainment value for some folks. I mean, you look at all these years, Hendrick Motorsports, Joe Gibbs Racing, dominate, win all the races. But without them, what would you have? You would need someone like that to make the other teams want. And it makes that win even more, even more valuable for the teams that may be struggling in the background. That when they do finally land that race win, the emotions come through, and it's something special. So you got to have every corner of the racetrack, and you can't just cut corners. Definitely makes for the whole ecosystem to go around. And as we're going around here tonight, 15 laps left to go, 15 circuits around Auto Club Speedway. Starting to wonder if Matt Parasini and Garrett Walden are going to be in the save mode rather than make a pit stop and relinquish the lead here. They were able to pit longer. They waited later in the race to make their pit stop. If you look at this graphic here. Wrong graphic. Pit strategy. There we go. So those that pitted, they pitted at about the lap 16 to 26 window. For Bishop, Vincent, let's see, who is the other one up front leading this race? Bands had run 33 laps and had to pit. 28 was almost a perfect stint for most drivers here tonight. So they're about five laps short of making that last round of pit stops here, I would wager. As Bands pitted with 33 laps on his run here. They could be out there to shock the whole field. We'll see. I, for one, have been honored to call the racing action here the last couple years with the SCSRA Cup Series. I feel like kind of in a special honorific to even get a chance to sit here and call these races. And it's always bittersweet once you get down to the end of a season. I mean, we've been here week in, week out for the last 13 weeks calling the racing action, establishing storylines, building drama, and developing storylines as always. And it's one of my favorite things to do in my pastime, getting to follow along racing. My whole life has been, evolved around racing. Here we go. Pit stops are happening for your leaders. Matt Pericini dips down pit road with 12 laps to go. Garrett Walden's going to stay out. AJ Evangelista and Josh Hall managing to run a little bit longer here on the fuel window. Try to take tires once you get down to this point in time. You just need to get enough go juice to take it to the checkered flag. And Garrett Walden opts to pit here with 10 laps to go. That will hand the race lead over to AJ Evangelista, as also Josh Hall follows on staying out here. But because of this, and those that have pitted, the lead lap cars have swapped around a little bit. We now have 6 cars back on the lead lap, whereas once we had 4 on the lead lap. Garrett Walden pitting. He's still ahead of Matt Pericini, but barely, as the pit stop will shuffle out here. Garrett Walden's probably going to fall a couple more spots back. Pericini, Vince Brent, Matt Banzier, 1, 2, 3. Once this cycle of pit stops shuffle out here, Garrett Walden is going to somehow keep it close here. The gap shrinking exponentially as Matt Pericini is reeling him back in. He's on his warm-up lap. Matt Pericini is up to speed. What's going to happen here? Is it going to be Matt Pericini with the race lead, or is Garrett Walden going to stun him with a quick pit stop? Gas and go. He's got 3 seconds over his teammate here. Josh Hall's sticking it out a little bit longer as AJ Evangelista pitted. Man, you can't get any tighter than this. The gas and go strategy does not prevail for AJ Evangelista. He gets passed over by Garrett Walden and Matt Pericini, falling all the way back to 6th and possibly even further back to 8th. But Garrett Walden's got a 2.5 second advantage over Matt Pericini, and he's now up to speed here. Had a stellar pit stop. But we got to keep our eyes on Josh Hall here. If he lays it down into super save mode, he could steal a race win here today. 8 laps is a long ways to go. He's coasting. He might be out of fuel. No, he's playing the save strategy, folks. 8 laps to go. He's going to stick it out. Holy cow. That would be wild. Josh Hall has had a rough season. And the one thing, like a medication for everything, winning. And if Josh Hall were somehow able to survive this fuel run here, you got to look at the numbers real quick. Look at the pit strategy. He stretched it 35 laps right now. That means he's going to have to make it to 42. And he's coasted. He is simply coasting around the track. The engine is off. He's losing it on the apron there. He's going to keep it rolling. I don't know if that's a strategy to get it loose on the apron there to try and reset the fuel monitor on the gas tank, but a caution would greatly damper this unique strategy call here from the 81 of Josh Hall. Garrett Walden would regain the lead here as he sits second, some 25 seconds back of Josh Hall. Josh Hall ran a 44-second lap. The lap times, if I do some quick crunching here, if he loses 5 seconds for the last 5 laps, it would maybe be a photo finish at the line. So he's got to keep that delta in his favor here. 44 seconds, losing about 3 to 4 seconds a lap. This last lap was a 42.99, so he picks it up on the last lap. No, this is wild, folks. I did not think you could see a fuel save strategy at Auto Club Speedway quite to this degree. You can look at the dashboard here in the bottom right-hand corner. I guess it doesn't really give us a true throttle delta or a throttle readout. Oh yeah, you do. Okay, yeah. Look at, he's all the way down to about 30% throttle. Never truly lifting. Keeping the throttle in it, because I'm sure if you lifted completely, it would sputter and be running low on gas. Matt Parasini gets by Garrett Walden, where second place would be your race leader if this strategy falls apart here. Holy cow, folks. If you stuck around to this point, you might be in for a wild finish. Matt Parasini, 18 seconds back. Josh Hall, at this point, all he's going to have to do is keep an advantage of about 4 seconds a lap. That was a a slower lap by 4 seconds. And if he loses 4 more seconds each lap, he would lose 12 seconds to the leader. Matt Parasini would only be able to get within about 4 seconds of the race lead. So he might have enough in the tank here. Look at that, folks. 39 laps and counting. Josh Hall from nearly dead last in the field here at 11th is where he qualified. He opted out of running qualifying laps here today. And it's going to be 2 laps to go at the line. Oh, and that's the one thing he does not need is a caution late in the race here, as he is simply coasting around the racetrack. I heard some crunching. I don't think it was a wreck on track. It might have been someone on pit road crunching up their car. But Josh Hall, 2 laps to go. He'll see the white flag this time. He's fallen 6 seconds off the lead. His lap time's very slow. He's going to coast it around a little bit longer here. Did he save at the pump? Matt Parasini is closing rapidly. 5.5 seconds and counting. He was 6 seconds slower that last lap. 6 seconds slower this lap. Last lap of the race. And at this point, I don't think he's got any fuel left. That car sputters. It's out of fuel. And here goes the 24 of Matt Parasini around him. Almost a win. Denied on the last lap. Coasting with no fuel left in the reserves. Matt Parasini gets back around and is going to secure this win in dramatic fashion. What almost was, Josh Hall proves that you can make it 41 laps on a fuel tank here. Running as minimal lap as you can. But Parasini wins back-to-back races with Chicagoland and Auto Club, putting the gauntlet up for Bristol, where he's going to miss it next week. Garrett Walden brings it home second. Matt Bands with a solid third. It was Vince Brent in fourth. AJ Evangelista matching the car number there, bringing it home fifth. Colin Hoffman, Christopher Bishop, and man, Josh Hall, I think at this point is just hoping he can get it to the start-finish line. He's getting as low to the ground as he can. This might be a moral victory for most, just to get it to the start-finish line. Rolling as you see Matt Parasini, the race leader, up high. The race is over, and the 81 makes it coasting across the start-finish line. But denied a 1-2-3 finish for Cypress Academy. Matt Bands brings it home third. Garrett Walden and Matt Parasini continue to establish their dominance in this title hunt as the top 2 in the points and the top 2 in the field here tonight. Well, pretty neat. I feel like Pericini may still have a chance when it comes down to Vegas here in a couple weeks. Missing Bristol, and we'll have to ask him how he feels with the 1- race in the chase here. Pretty crazy to win 2 of the first 3 chase races. It might come down to absolutely having to win Vegas, but it's potential. There's a chance. Does not build a big points buffer, though, on the likes of Garrett Walden nor Matt Bands, as they still were able to finish second and third here today. But we'll see what the points look like before we head to Bristol next week. Well, folks, that is a wrap here, and we'll get to the post-race interviews here shortly. But here is your finishing order from tonight's race. Matt Pericini comes home victorious for Cypress Academy. Garrett Walden, his teammate, brings it home in second. Then you had Matt Bands, followed by Vince Brent. AJ of 8th, maybe a net gain for him for the most part. Then it's Tristan Cotton, Lauren Vincent. Heartbreak for Holden Wheeler, Ryan Gomes, and Anthony Strickland, as they all failed to finish the race here today. So we're going to go ahead and get in with your post-race interviews here. Starting with third place on the evening, Matt Bands making a habit of this, finishing podium last couple weeks. Yet again, another podium finish as he brings it home third here tonight. We'll go ahead and ask him how he went here, how his race went here tonight. Matt, this is Jacob in the booth. Do you copy? This is Jacob in the booth. Do you copy, Matt?
Yes, sir.
Well, congratulations on your podium finish here tonight at Auto Club Speedway. There was a lot going on. Definitely some strategy calls here that shuffled things up, and even the fuel run from Josh Hall at the end there was making things interesting. It was looking like possibly he could have made it happen, but was out there running on fumes as the last lap came to a close there. Walk us through your night. How do you feel after this podium finish? What got you here to this point?
Yeah, I'm exhausted. That was that car. It is not the most fun car to drive. It really isn't. It gets so tight and so loose. It just if you're in dirty air, you better hope that you don't overdrive it because you'll hit the wall. I mean, it was the strategy worked really really well, and the top two ended up with 2 tires, and they I don't want to say drove away from us, but they did really well. And me and Vince we always have great battles, so that was a lot of fun. But overall, I mean, it was a great drive back to the front, and it really worked. So.
Well, yeah, it definitely looked. I mean, with the lack of cautions here tonight, we had only about maybe 4 or 5 cautions, so it was a long, grueling night. Fontana, or otherwise known as Auto Club Speedway, tends to be a tougher track to tangle with, and I feel like even from the seat here as a broadcaster, I felt exhausted watching the action on track because it's just so tight. It's more of a momentum game. If you got to run, you're going. Otherwise, if you get loose or lift, you fall way backwards. So, 13 cars on the track here tonight. We saw a lot of that, kind of the ebb and flow, the ebb of the race, a lot of comers and goers. But with Bristol and Las Vegas still to come, I know a lot of people have been saying Bristol's kind of their question mark. Not sure how that's going to play out next week. But in your scenario, you're still in the top 3. You're kind of in the picture for this points battle. What do you have to do for the next 2 races to climb up the board?
Yeah, and you nailed it. Auto Club was tough. If someone got right up behind you, it would just suck you around. And if you lost any momentum, you'd just get freight trained. And I knew going into the chase that Bristol was going to definitely have a question mark asterisk for me because especially now that it's going to be the high horsepower package at a track like that. I think it will be, but it's going to just be about surviving. It's going to be about, just keeping the car clean and limit to 30 seconds or less of damage. And, you know, if we can do that, I mean, we'll be pretty good, I kind of had a game plan and I'm going to try to see if it works out.
Well, yeah, definitely. Best of luck with you next week at Bristol. You keep rolling through the chase here with podiums. There's got to be a lot of fans, a lot of friends, a lot of sponsors you must thank here. Who you got in your corner?
Yeah, I want to start with my family. I know my mom and dad always text me, saying good job and congrats and all that, and I want to thank them for all the support they continue to give, and I want to thank my partner Lars for all the all the support that he gives as well, and you know want to thank the team. Sentinel Motorsports. We always have great cars, and it was a shame that Holden ended up getting caught up in something, so it was really unfortunate for him. But we got a lot going on in the background, in the works, so we're pushing towards that. We're pushing to, close out the season, hoping to maybe, shorten the gap there. And I think, we did that because I need to be less than, less than 50 points or so back of Matt, and I think I might have been able to do it. So, we're gonna go into Bristol and hope for the best.
Yeah, your guys' team putting on a good showing each week. Just tough breaks here and there for a couple, like Holden Wheeler and maybe even the absence of Sharon Hill at the moment for that championship points battle for the team standings. But still a great year for Sentinel Motorsports. Definitely good trajectory for coming seasons. You guys got a good team going. So congrats again. Have a great night. We'll see you next week at Bristol.
Thank you, sir.
Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and interview second place on the field here tonight, Garrett Walden. Garrett's Jacob in the booth. Do you copy?
Oh.
Do you copy?
Yes, sir. Got a copy. Took it a minute.
Oh, no worries, no worries. Congratulations here tonight on a second place at Auto Club Speedway. It was kind of fun to watch, kind of daunting, I feel like, for everyone on track. How exhausted are you after that run here tonight?
Honestly, not too bad. Just was able to hit a nice rhythm, especially in 1 and 2, and just kind of was able to get like my steering wheel how I wanted it and the angles I wanted, and I kept hitting that every lap, and that kind of helped me, mitigate the just how hard it can be to run around here.
Yeah, no, there's a lot going on at the end there, especially the fuel strategy. We were watching Josh Hall try to coast it around the track. He almost made it. What were you thinking when he was up front leading this race with about 2 laps left to go and about a 15-second advantage over your teammate Matt Pericini?
I was honestly surprised if he was gonna to make it because when I was doing the calculations when we pitted last under the caution, I was like, he's gonna have to save 4 to 5 laps, probably 5. That's tough sledding here because you're on the throttle so much. But props to him for giving it a shot. He was, 3/4 of a lap from it, but um, I mean, he's doing what he can, and I don't blame him for trying it. Like, at this point, you got to be trying everything you can, and props to Josh for almost pulling it off. I mean, that's a good try by him.
Well, and there's definitely a lot of drivers at the end of the year hoping to get that extra win. You've had 3 wins on the season, and it's a heated battle between you and your teammate Matt Pericini all the way down to the wire. Obviously, Pericini is going to miss Bristol next week. How do you feel with Bristol? Is it a track that you're comfortable with? With that in Vegas to come, what's your perception on this title battle?
Uh, I'm pretty. I mean, I'm pretty good at Bristol. I feel like, especially when they did the rescan of it and the new tire model, I feel pretty comfortable with Bristol. Um, I think I'll get a top 5 there. But it's Bristol, short track racing. Anything can happen to anybody at any time. So it's just more or less being on your P's and Q's the whole time that you're running, and that's main thing going in for me is just gonna run my race best I can, and just be there at the end like I always do.
Heck yeah. Nope. Another great finish here tonight at Auto Club Speedway. Go ahead and give a shout out to all your sponsors, friends, family who got you here.
Big shout out to team Cypress Academy. Matt, congrats on the win to him. Of trying to get Vince, almost got us another 1, 2, 3, but he couldn't hold off the other Matt. It was a good run by him. Big shout out to Jesse Whittington, our team motors, always cheering us on, giving us encouragement, and just being an all around good dude. 40XLI, which is what's on the car I've been running every week. It's another group of guys that I run with, and just keeping them always with me. And shout out to the league and everybody that runs in it. It's been a lot of fun these last couple weeks, and looking forward to the next two.
Alrighty, my dude. Have a great night. Congratulations on the podium finish here, and we'll see you next week at Bristol.
Thank you, sir.
And we will go ahead and interview your race winner this evening. Number 24, Matt Parasini in the Rowdy Kyle Busch paint scheme number 24 for Cypress Academy. It's Jacob in the booth. Do you copy?
I gotcha.
Well, congratulations tonight, my dude. You got a good run there at the end. You bested the fuel mileage game of Josh Hall there as he was trying to coast around the track. Walk us through the night. What did it feel like here at Auto Club? Was it exhausting? Was it enthralling? What got you to the victory lane circle here tonight?
Oh. Have you got me now? I just my mic just cut out. Tonight it was really it was just playing the right strategy. You had to kind of like save the tires, and then it was kind of I had to keep changing my lines. It was like I had to run high to put some temperature in the right front, and then once it started to push, I had to move down to put some temperature back in the right rear to kind of keep the car balanced. So that's what I was really working on all night. Just in the first stage, I burnt the tires off too much and then couldn't do much with it. So, we ended up only getting fifth in the stage, but I learned from my mistakes after that and just really managed the tires. Knew I wanted to go to about 10 to go, and I knew I was going to have to pit for some fuel. So at that point, I just put 2 rights on and about 5 gallons of fuel in the tank just to kind of help the balance of the car. And I'll be honest, I did that, and the handling of the car it came to life, and I was ripping off some wicked fast lap times there at the end. So thought Josh had it. If he didn't run out of fuel, I don't think I would have caught him. So but all in all, really good day again for the Dynamite Creative Co Chevy.
Yeah, it was kind of cool watching the different lines here. It really felt like you were watching all the progressive lines of banking come into play tonight. We saw the high line work. We saw the low line, middle line. It was all over the racetrack, and as good perception there, or perspective that you gave us, as it was more of trying to adjust the tire heats. Pretty neat how that actually made that big of a difference during the runs. It's a lot going through a driver's mind is you're trying to adjust these intervals on the racetrack at speeds of 200 miles an hour and still bring it home with a victory like you did tonight. That Rowdy tribute scheme gets its second victory in a row. You're going to miss Bristol, and obviously the points are a little bit sweeter as 2 wins in a row. We will see what Bristol brings. I don't want to breathe anything into fruition. Of course, we'll let the season play out, but Vegas could still very much come down to, I would say, still about 3 cars at the title in Vegas. But apart from that, with tonight's strategy and all that played out, and getting this win here tonight, how do you feel for the next 2 races? Obviously, with Bristol being the negated one, of course.
Yeah. with us missing Bristol again, it was, we have talked in these interviews. I mean, my whole goal the first 3 races was to pad as much points as I possibly could. Fortunately, we didn't really do that tonight because we didn't have the stage that we needed. So, but we still got the win. So, you got to take the good with the bad on that one. We'll see where the points shake out. I was kind of shooting for ideally about a 30 to 35 point lead. If I figured if I could come out of this race with about a 30 to 35 point lead, come to Vegas, I likely still have a shot at it. It won't be as good as I would have liked, but I think I will actually still have a shot at it. So, we'll go from there and see what happens. But I mean, anybody knows, right? You miss a race. I mean, that could be a 50-point swing. So, even if it's only 30, 35 points, I'm going to have to probably have the race of my life in Las Vegas to have a chance at the championship. But, really proud of my whole season. I mean, 5 wins on the season, championship or not. For me, it was a championship season. I mean, I you don't miss that race. I know I've probably had a really good chance to win the championship this year. So, I will take it as probably one of the best seasons I've ever put together as a race car driver, and really proud about it.
Well, in your team, the Cypress Academy has really put on a great showing this year. We've seen growth from some key drivers. You and Garrett have definitely proven kind of the bouncing board for Vince and Lauren to kind of get their footing. And it's been a fun season seeing the growth from your other 2 teammates that haven't been up front fighting for the win. But tonight, Vince Brent put on a good showing, and I thought he was in the mix here for the win tonight. What else you got to say about the team? It's definitely, I was giving you guys cred here tonight during the broadcast.
The team as a whole. I mean, Jesse doesn't race with us anymore, but Jesse still is in the background, and he's, he knows what tracks we're coming up to, and he'll give us all tips and ideas and things on what to do, how to set the brakes up, because we can change the brake settings, how to set up the steering butt ratio, like all that stuff. He still gives us advice on that. So that comes down, and then, both Garrett and I have really, if Vince or Lauren or Charlie ask for help, we're more than willing to tell them kind of like what we're running and how we're doing it and everything. And it's been just amazing to see how much Vince has really stepped up his speed. But Lauren, I mean, he's not at the level that Vince is at, but considering where he was last year to this year, it's a completely different driver. So overall team effort, I mean, we've put in the homework this year, and I am really proud of all the guys on this team. We've really stepped it up.
And it shows. You guys have had a stellar season, championship season for the team, that is. You guys are leading that points battle, and Sentinel Motorsports keeps spoiling the party here. You got Matt Baines bringing home the podium here tonight. But go ahead and give a shout out to the rest of your sponsors, friends, family got you here.
Yeah, as normal, I will give the first shout out to my wife Leanne and my daughter Johanna. They support me to come out and hang out with the boys once a week, and I really appreciate all their support. Also have to thank my wife Leanne and her company Dynamite Creative Co. for sponsoring the race car. She was very supportive of me running this Kyle Busch Skittles tribute car for the playoffs, kind of giving up her position on the car. So that was really good. And I mean, I've said it all year. My painter, Mike Wheel at Mosh Customs, I mean, I absolutely love racing his paints. The car looks absolutely amazing, and I am so happy that I have put his paint schemes into victory lane 5 times this year. That's just, the icing on the cake for me on that. Thanks to all my teammates at Cypress Academy. Great bunch of guys, love racing with them. Thanks to the SCSRA admins. They do a great job for what sometimes we put on is not the best work, so they have a little extra work to do. And then, of course, for you doing the broadcast, really appreciate it.
Oh shoot, my mic was muted. Yeah, no, congratulations yet again on 5 wins. That is a storybook season no matter what. It's it goes to show you the work's been put in, you've earned it, and I mean, it's a championship caliber season like you said, no matter what. So that can't be taken away. But otherwise, we'll see in a couple weeks at Las Vegas. Enjoy this win, and hopefully we see you in the battle for that championship.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks very much.
Well, that's a wrap here tonight, folks. Thanks again for tuning in here at Intensity Broadcasting. And I'm tongue-tied, obviously. But yet again, Matt Persini parks it in victory lane. 5 wins on the season. Goes to show you just how stellar of a season he's had here. His 24 team is going to make it interesting. Missing the race at Bristol. We will see if he's still in the mix come Vegas in 2 weeks. But with that, folks, I would love to bid y'all have a wonderful night. Stay safe out there. We got 2 races left in the season, and then we will put a nice, neat little ribbon on Season 12 of the SCSRA Tammy Butchino Memorial Cup Series here in 2026. Looking forward to the future seasons that we've got here with this series. A lot of great talent, a lot of great drivers, a lot of great teams, and some good action week in, week out. We'll see you next week from Bristol, folks, on Wednesday night, as is Vegas to follow the next week after on Wednesday, and then we will crown a champion. But with that, have a great night, everyone. Stay safe.